or not. Because you ain't going to get in there by signs and wonders. You're not going to get in there by your prosperity, or you're not going to get in there by anything other than His blood that was shed for you upon Calvary. And when He sees the blood, He will recognize it. But when He doesn't see it, He's going to say, all I can see are the sin. Because it's the blood that covers our sin. Amen. Nevertheless, the foundation of God standeth sure, having this seal, the Lord knows them that are His. And let everyone that nameth the name of Christ depart from iniquity. But in the great house there are not only vessels of gold and of silver, but also of wood and earth, and some to honor, and some to dishonor. If a man therefore purge himself from these, he shall be a vessel unto honor, sanctified, and meet for the master's use. And here's the word again, prepared. And prepared unto every good work. So if you prepare yourself for war, you're preparing yourself for good works. But if you're just preparing yourself to sit on a pew somewhere and do only what is required of you, then you're in trouble. And some of us are borderline. Some of us are like a borderline diabetic. we're not diabetic, and we're not diabetic. And some of us are borderline Christians, and we're not quite Christians yet, and we're not Christians. How's that for confusing? If you understand that 2 minutes, praise God, you got a revelation. Flee also youthful lust, but follow righteousness, faith, charity, peace, with them that call on the Lord out of a pure heart. But foolish and unlearned questions avoid. Let me rephrase that. Let me put that into my terms. Don't ask those stupid questions. And the people that ask stupid questions know they're asking stupid questions. And those stupid questions generate more problems. But foolish and unlearned questions avoid. Now, if you want to know some truth, you have a question, ask it. But don't ask the foolish and unlearned questions, knowing that they too gender strife. And the servant of the Lord must not strive, but be gentle unto all men, apt to teach, patient, in meekness instructing those that oppose themselves. People that ask stupid questions aren't opposing you, they're opposing themselves. Sometimes I think people are kind of like a fox that gets caught in a snare and gnaws its leg off to get free. And sometimes that's what we get. We get caught in the snare, and then we want to chew our leg off to get out of it. In meekness instructing those that oppose themselves, if God peradventure will give them repentance to the acknowledging of the truth, and that they may recover themselves out of the snare of the devil, who are taken captive by him at his will. Church, prepare for war. This is not going to be easy. This is not going to be pleasant. This is not going to be like, well, I'll just get in my canoe and row across the nice smooth lake in the sun, and it's shining, and I'll get warm, the birds singing, the fish jumping, and I'll get, this float across. No, it's time to go more. It's time to prepare yourself. yourself for warfare. And if you're not prepared for war, you're going to be a casualty of the war. And no matter how hard the battle rages, when we're prepared for war, and we have on the whole armor of God, and we have the two-edged sword in our hand, and His Word alive in our mouth, and we have out of our bellies flowing rivers of living water, we will not be a casualty no matter how terrible or horrendous this war gets. And sometimes it's just the sound of that warfare that strikes fear into our heart. But don't let fear overcome you. Don't let fear cause you not to prepare yourself for this warfare. Because I'll tell you what you're fighting for. You're not fighting for the church. You're not defending the Word. The Word doesn't need to be defended. I get upset when some of these preachers come along saying, well, we're defenders of the faith. And I'm like, faith doesn't need to be defended. The church doesn't need to be defended. The Word doesn't need to be defended. It is what it is, and it's going to stand as it is. And you don't need to defend that. What you're defending is your eternal soul. That's what the battle and warfare is being waged over the souls of men and women. And it's your soul that you need to go to warfare for. And sometimes we neglect our own with the attitude, well, I'm out there preaching, and there's a lot of preachers that are headed the wrong direction. Sad to say, they're out there preaching, but they got problems they need to solve. And they're thinking their goodness of going out to save others is going to save them, and that's not what it is. It's this man that I need to go at war for. And when I can keep him victorious, then I can bring you to the place where you can be victorious. Because you can be guaranteed this much. When any leader falls, most of his followers fall with him. Come on. Some of these high preachers, evangelical TV ministries, and some of them have fallen, and a lot have fallen with them because they weren't fighting the right kind of warfare. Somehow we get complacent into thinking our ministry is getting the job done, and it's not your ministry. It's the warfare over your soul. Your soul is hanging in the balance here. It's your soul, and when you fall, there are going to be others that are going to fall because they've got their eyes on you. So strap on this whole armor of God and get yourself prepared for war. And the warfare will not cease. It's not going to stop. We think, well, we'll win the battle, we can have a little rest. No, there will be another battle, and another battle, and another battle, and another battle. They're going to come without ceasing, but we can be ready and prepared as we prepare ourselves for war, not for peace. In fact, Jesus said, I didn't come to bring peace. I come to stir things up. Praise God. Boy, did he ever. Man went into the temple and saw what was going on, and how they were selling and exchanging money and making merchandise over the people that come that were hungry for God. And he overturned their money tables and set their goats and their birds loose. And he said, you know what you're guilty of? You're guilty of making my Fathers,